This is Roger Thunder of the Thunder Clan, the Desert Shaman. I'm going to do a thing on mudras because I have been promising to do this, so let's see what we can do here, at least get a start on it. And this is in conjunction with all the other stuff I taught you, esoteric teachings on meditation. Refer to Kriya breathing, the Kriya breathing and yoga video. Refer to consciousness raising videos. And couple this up with it. Now I'm going to start off here reading a foreword to a book by David Frawley. Well, the book isn't by David Frawley, but the foreword is. And it's about hand positions or the yoga of the hands. So let me just read this because it can say it a lot better than I can, I do believe. Here we go. Hand mudras, and you can read along if you want. Hand mudras, or hand gestures, have an important role in yogic thought and Indian culture, where they have probably been explained in more detail than perhaps any other tradition. Yet this knowledge can be helpful to all of us in bringing more meaning into our awareness and into our expression. The hands are the focus of most of what we do, reflecting how we relate to life and how we touch the world. When our energy is strong, clear, and creative in the hands, our vitality and attention are similarly energized and directed in a positive manner. When there is no focus or attention in our hands, our lives often lack focus and proper motivation. Hand mudras have three main places of traditional usage in India, which are all covered in the present detailed book. The first and most commonly known in the West is the yoga practice to channel higher energies into the body and mind. Let's repeat that. Channel higher energies into the body and mind. Mudras play a role along with asanas, pranayama, mantra, and meditation in Raha Yoga and Hatha Yoga, and are becoming part of regular yoga classes. Let me stop here for a minute and say that I have taught in past videos everything that is needed here when it talks about asanas, pranayama, mantra, and meditation. I haven't taught you all the asanas, or maybe very few, but that's kind of hard to do in a video because you have to stretch out on the floor and do different things. Let me continue on here. The second place for mudra is in ritual, in which various gestures relate to different deities or their powers. Most Hindu and Buddhist rituals employ mudras as an integral part of their practice, along with special mantras and offerings. Such rituals can be part of yoga practice as well, particularly in devotional practices. In this way, mudras are not simply a means of personal expression or self-empowerment, but ways of communicating with the deity, often in meditation and drawing grace in our lives. Let me repeat that, and drawing divine grace in our lives. The third is in the Indian dance and drama, in which mudras reflect various types of meaning and have a symbolic value, particularly for projecting certain attitudes and emotions or representing various powers or deities. Mudras are part of an artistic language of poetry, gesture, and dance, and aid in a deeper self-expression and creative unfoldment. The hands are our seat of pranic connection and expansion in Ayurvedic medicine and much of healing is through the hands. Mudras can help direct higher pranic energies into the body and link us with beneficial pranic currents in nature and in the universe as a whole. Mudras relate to marmas and nadis, the energy points and the currents in the physical and subtle bodies. This can afford them tremendous healing powers and the ability to change how our energy moves and works. Mudras can be brought into various types of massage and body work for great benefit. Let me read on just a little more here, but I think you're getting the drift. Mudras can be used along with pranayama. And I've discussed pranayama, spiritual breathing, instructed you on how to do it. So that's what it's talking about here when it says pranayama. In order to direct the prana in various ways, both internally and externally, whether to different parts of our own bodies or to the pranic fields of other people. In fact, the more power of prana one has, the greater the power one can direct through the mudras. The mudra forms a vehicle for one's prana and helps both activate and exercise the prana that one has. One can heal through mudras alone, either as directed by the practitioner or as practiced by the patient. Mudras, especially those of the hand, are prominent in the tantric, let me repeat that, tantric aspect of the greater yoga tradition and are sometimes regarded as an entire branch of practice like asana, pranayama, mantra, or yantra. Mudras are often used along with different asanas, particularly sitting poses, where they have specific powers to energize the asanas at a deeper level. Mudras can also serve to focus the mind and direct its power of attention. As such, mudras help prepare the mind for meditation and can reinforce certain meditational attitudes. Hand mantras can be seen like hand mantras. Let me read that again. Hand mudras can be seen like hand mantras. Very interesting, isn't it? As ways of energizing our expression. They can be used like yantras or geometrical devices for organizing our subtle energy patterns. Certain mudras are used for teachers while teaching students to focus the power of the mind. As teaching gestures, the mudra itself can project the knowledge and awareness of the teacher, like the famous chin mudra or gesture of consciousness. So I think that's enough of a read there to get you familiar with what mudras are and how they operate. Now, just as a review here, I have taught all these things on this channel. I have taught the pranayama or the Kriya breathing or the movement of energy through the body. I've taught you in the consciousness raising series, and if you're new here, you're just going to have to go back and look. Just hit the video thing and go back and look for Kriya breathing or consciousness raising, and you can review those videos, okay? And then I've also done, now see this, the way I'm holding my hands right here, I just do this naturally. This is a mudra. This is a mudra that you know, touching all your fingers and your thumbs. And this mudra is for balancing the yin and the yang, the left and the right side of the body, the male and the female energies, okay? So this is a particular mudra. When I talk, sometimes my hands just go into different mudras, okay? And I do this as I'm talking, and it's basically almost like a spontaneous thing. And I talked about going into spontaneous asanas or positions. Now, what I like about this is what that forward indicated is that this is in East Indian dance as well. Okay, and you can see the beautiful dakinis. Okay, in different forms and different pictures and different statues in India. You can see the beautiful dakinis doing little gestures, okay, with their hands as they're dancing, okay, and this is a form of mudra, or expressing your mudras, your hand gestures. And as you're doing this, you're moving your body in a lithesome manner or in a open manner. This is what the East Indian goddess yoginis, beautiful women of India do. It's very beautiful, and I've actually posted a video with a dancer doing that in the past as well. I may post one again. And they move in spontaneous ways. They move in ways where the energy is directing them, and they're using these hand gestures at the same time, mudras, along with positions of the body and dance. And then we have the asanas, which are actually body mudras that are associated with hatha yoga. And that is the typical yoga that is found and expressed in classes, a lot of yoga classes. Now, some yoga classes, they're more in it for the fitness of the body. That's okay. That's a byproduct of practicing mudras and yantras and meditation. And when you get into the when you get into the right groove, let's call it a groove, move me and groove me. When you get into the right groove, you start flowing with all this stuff. You may create your own morning ritual, which may consist of several things that are all connected. The asanas, the mudras, the yantras, which is gazing at a geometrical design. All of these things, the mantra, the recitation of certain vibrational frequencies through the voice, Om, that type thing. So what we are going to do here is start off simple, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I'm kind of a spontaneous guy. So this video might just be an introduction. I might not go into actually 1,000 different mudra hand positions, but this is one. And you can start off with just this simple one, and then this is one. If you close your hands into the prayer mudra, okay, touch your hands lightly. Now you may want to energize your hands by clapping them together and rubbing them. Get the prana or chi flowing in there. Paying attention to your hands as a very important part of your life, an expressive part of your life. Many people do mantras. Here's another one. And also let's know, or let it be known, that the fingers, like it said in the foreword that I just read, are acupuncture points, or nadis, Nadis, which is what the Hindu called the same thing as acupuncture points or meridians going through the body and energizing your body. This is what formed your body in the womb, as a matter of fact. You had the energy blueprint first, and then everything kind of grew around that. So all these energies are in your hands, and when you put your hands in different positions, you can feel the energy. Okay, you must concentrate on this energy. There are different mudras, okay, that use both hands, and there are some that just use a single hand, or you might. Now this is a good mudra here. Talk about simplicity, okay, but you can start off where you just put your right hand up by your right shoulder, and you can connect these two fingers and face your palm out. This is a protective mudra, okay? This is seen in many depictions, many paintings of yoginis, or let's say yogis or yoginis doing dance as well with the yoginis, the divas doing dances. This will often be one you will see, along with this one where you touch the thumb to your ring finger. Okay, that is the mudra for Kali. And it's said in that foreword there that you have different deities that you can summon, or their energies, or you can worship. The putting together of the hands is a very humbling thing. It shows humility, and it also shows reverence. And it also, if you put it up here, you can direct it to a particular, let's say, photo or deity or thought in your mind. And then if you go up here, like in the asanas for hatha yoga, where you're standing on one leg in the candle position, you can feel the energy coming down through your hands. So it's all about movement of energy, letting the energy come from the universal cosmic consciousness, Shiva Shakti, okay? When you practice mudras, they're very healing, and like it said in the foreword there's mudras for every different modality, as far as like if you want to heal certain parts of your body or energize certain parts of your body, you can use the different mudras. And what I will do is I have cards here that I got specifically for this. And this is called Mudras of Yoga by King Carroll. And he also has a book. And these are nice cards that you can use. Let me show you one. So the first one that I showed, the mudra that I just showed you is the hand mudra here. And let me read, if I can get enough light here, let me read. It tells you the technique: raise the right hand in front of your right shoulder, palm forward, and so forth. And then it says the application, tells you how to apply it, you know. And then it says the benefits: calms the mind, reduces anxiety and inner conflict, removes attachment and aversion to thoughts, emotion, and sensations, serves as a form of protection from negativity. And there you have that particular mudra. So you might just start off where you practice that mudra. Just sit in a comfortable position and hold your hand up, like, you know, almost like you're saying stop. Feel the energy in your hand. Feel some tingling in your hand. Try to direct the prana or chi from your hand into your body, and from your body into your hand. Just feel the energy of that, okay? And then you can do this form of it. This is another form where you're connecting the thumb and the index finger. And you want to be familiar with the fingers if you're not familiar with the names of the fingers, like the little finger, ring finger, middle finger, and index finger, and thumb. You want to get familiar so that when I describe, you know, like putting a thumb to let's say an index finger, you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? Now there's some real complicated some of the mudras are not really, you are going to have to limber up your hands to get them into the position, some of these positions, okay, and this is one here, that is very complicated, okay? It's a very complicated, but yet this mudra is for the heart, and it is very, helps the hands and the heart, and it is very, very strong, okay? And it reduces fear, makes you fearless from the heart. There's all kinds of, if you just fold your hands like this and then turn them inside out and look at your palms, that's a mudra. Now, as you learn these mudras, you're going to find out that you'll find yourself doing them spontaneously, maybe with your asanas or your meditation or your yoga practice. So I would suggest that you take your time with them and just have fun, With me, it's like a continual process. I review, I look at the hand pictures, okay? I actually do the mudra. I close my eyes, I breathe slowly and I meditate, feel the energy, know what that particular mudra is for, and then just forget about it. You can go through and memorize the mudras and know what they're for and then just kind of forget about it. But your subconscious mind will know when you put your hands in a certain position, your subconscious mind goes, oh yeah, that's for the heart, or that's for protection, or whatever. You don't even have to think about it. In fact, it's probably sometimes better not to, although some teachers say to focus on the meaning of it, or feel the meaning of it, feel the energy flowing to wherever you need it to flow, that type thing. Now, as was said in that forward, there's some great benefits, or let's say usages for this in Tantra yoga, the coupling of the male and female energies, whether it be with another person or within yourself. These things are very useful because you have the mudra of the yoni and the lingam, the female and the male, okay, and then you have other mantras. Mudras. Excuse me. You have other mudras, and you can say mantras with these different things. Just if you don't know the mantra for the particular deity, you can just use the word Om, which is the seed of all mantras. It's the beginning of all mantras. So if you get confused, you can just say Om. You can just practice the mantra Om as you're sitting and doing your hand mudras. And make no mistake about it, hand mudras are they're yoga. They're the yoga of the hands. They're kind of like the hatha yoga, like when you get into different body positions. They're kind of like the hatha yoga of the hands. So if you feel like you don't want to go into the full-blown ritual of going through the stretches and the yoga positions and the asanas associated with hatha yoga, let's say you want to take a day off, you could do it with just the hands, okay? You can do your yoga with just the hands. So I encourage you to learn more about mudras, and like I say, I'm not saying that I'm going to do a continual series here, one after the other. But I might pop up with a card or two on occasion and show you a mudra, and I will say to refer back to this video to get the rundown or the lowdown on all this stuff. But these are very healing. Let me emphasize that. These can change your whole life. They can change your whole outlook on life. They can allow energies that are specific to certain areas to enter into your life, to direct you, to heal you. Don't underestimate these. Okay, they've been used for centuries. And what is the origins of this? It's hard to determine origins. I mean, you can go back to, let's say, 3000 BC or 300 BC and find writings about some of this stuff. But that doesn't mean that was the beginning of it, because when people write about things, they write about things that were passed on to them from earlier sources where there may be no record in actual print or Sanskrit or whatever. There may be no record of it beyond a certain date, but it always comes from ancient sources and, let's say, higher entities. Yoga or union is the ultimate way to keep centered, balanced, and healthy. I can't emphasize that enough. So, periods of time in my life, I've backed off from it, and periods of time I've got into it. You have to let your spirit be your guide in these matters, okay? All right, well, I think that's enough of an introduction on the mudras. And like I say, I will be, from time to time, you never know how this is going to come out with Thunder, because I might decide to do a series or one or two or three in a row, and then go back to the mundane bullshit that you hear me talk about, like the Ukraine war or whatever. But I always like to keep the spiritual aspect in here. I like to keep that in your mind, in your consciousness. So we have to deal with the sacred and the profane at the same time, is what I'm saying here. I'll leave it there. Namaste.